Let's go game pertama. Eko versus RSD. Gila coy. RSD ini juara MSC tahun 2022 ya. Apa guys? Antara MSC itu SEA Games. Roster masih yang lama guys ya. Nats, Aqua, Demon Kite, cuman beda di MM. Sama like. Dulu Irat itu di RSG. Echo masih apa? Roster yang lama. Kecuali Yawi. Nats sih ngeri banget ya opener ya guys ya. Benny Kitty. Pakai kari ya Benny Kitty ya. JP sudah mulai. Oke. Nats, Sanford gila sih. Sanford bener-bener yang beda cuman Yawi ya guys ya diganti. Karena Yawi cadangan terus pindah ke Aura. Oke, masih nge-clear. Masih saling ngepok. Turtle muncul. Astagfirullahaladzim. Please lah. Gue pengen nonton match ini coy. Gue gila Natsa main gila. Gue dimasukin. Gila tetap mati coy. Wah JP bagus banget. Wah gila coy. Eko. Gila. Langsung mati 4 cok. Lihat Cici Angela gue kayak ngeliat Aura Onyx semalam guys. Gila. Masih ngeri banget ya Eko di sini ya. Eko aja lah sebutannya lah.
Jungler Punisher. In their 4 games, Echo is the only team that managed to kill the opposing jungler in the first 5 minutes of the game. Something about Echo that makes opposing teams just want to be aggressive against them. And again, go back to the draft. Leo mentioned it earlier. The possibility of the Barrett's death and its welcome happening, that's exactly what happened. And RSG, I also mentioned that they're the team that even if we're up against something like the Barrett's, we won't be scared. But this time, I felt like they could have been more cautious because that was a massive win for Echo. And this means, honestly, early game for Echo.
And again, a tendency that RSG has, if it's a team fight they were not ready to face in
the
same way,
then it's hard for them to masih aman Bruno sliding tackle.
RSG is not a team that rolls with the punches very well. When they're ahead, they want to be ahead. They want to snowball on forward. Again, death ball. It don't roll backwards.
Yeah. And even with that, the fact you have the Baksha here, you know, you're trying to rely on these fast rotations and everything else, playing around with the fact that you can have a heart guard available to you. Right now, it's not working out, right, for the most part. And Sanji also picking up the necklace of Durance is gonna help.
Gua plating bininya.
Offered by Aqua. Oh no! Look at this, Echo, Leo. As you said, they love to travel together and pick their targets well. They as one. They call it off for now, though.
4 minutes in, around 4 minutes 10, Aqua already has the
sakit banget ya Sanford. Iceboxnya pakai War X sih, itu harusnya udah jadi War X coy. Emblemnya juga pakai emblem mage yang buat ini coy. Biasanya kan orang pakai yang plus.
Well, the Raiders, so expect them to go head on.
Turtle masih dicolek-colek. Cici udah dimasukin gila. Oh, like-nya. Wih, masih Kardi yang dapat dimakan coy demonnya. Tapi mati di sini Kardinya. Bisa 5 versus 5 coy. Di Turtle. Gila Sanji.
alive on top of it as well. Demon Kite reinitiates the rest of the team there to help him out.
Gila, Sanford yang nggak mati. Warnya
The damage control.
PH nih, Warnya selalu gila cuy, seru banget anjir.
When it comes to limit testing, how far your hero can go.
Karjinya doang yang mati ya, cuma dapat Tarso. Item guys, item guys. Mau item guys, item guys.
That was close. Again, even if you're rooting for either team, you're like, wait, I'm not so sure. It could go the other way.
Ini kayaknya MMRSG juga tadinya bukan ini, tadinya Eman.
To give Carlteasy for the turtle and continue to pressure the map because for that fight to continue, RSG had to let go of the different.
Oh, Rexa baru jadi nih sana. Kok tapi tadi dia sakit banget ya? Oh, ditabrak Sanji. Masih aman, ada flicker. Ngambil ulti paksa JP. Jujur sih gue kangen ya main di Echo ya guys ya. Top rosternya aja, top juara dunia. Bener-bener yang beda cuman Yawi coy. Stanford 3 masih bisa survive.
Again, it's RSG looking for anything they can, given the fact that they're 3K behind at this point in the game.
All right, gentlemen, before another fight breaks out, I mean, Echo is always just ready to hunt as one. Are we in a renaissance?
Wah, Benny-nya gila cuy, ini Benny-nya dingin banget bro.
We're so used to Valentina's stealing big things.
Tuker tower atas, tower bawah.
Like Minoan Fury, like called Alter, rather Netherrealm. And now she's just picking up these utility ults and making them look like $1 million.
I feel like also the terrified teams playing a certain way.
The mobility, the dashes?
The mobility, the dashes. We saw it earlier, the early game damage of the Valentina actually quite hurts. So outside of the big ticket ultimate plays on JP.
Wah, dapat 2 JP-nya. Oh, ada purify. Wah, gila Sanford. Wah, anjir, cok. Momennya pas banget, coy. Wah, menang Wareko. Bruno-nya udah kena mati duluan. Benny kita pre-hit. Gila, bro.
2 for 1 and an eventual turnaround. Echo taking the last turtle of game number 1. Was it not Echo who actually won a world championship off of the principle of the box? And now they're redefining what it means to have a box. It's a mobile box. Anywhere that JP goes is a kill box for Echo. And RSG have to deal with that. Yes, RSG are very sustainable. They have an Angela, they have a Baksha, they have a CC.
Dormit, ini 1 hit lagi coy.
Extra life bar when she hits her ult. But when it comes out the boxes, it's so hard for RSG to actually answer something this aggressive.
Iya, coba ininya lu lihat dong ke tengah-tengah, bro. Pre-hit banget, cok.
They know they have turnaround capability off of the ultimate of the Edith. But one thing that
Oke, udah saling setup. Itu jebol sih harusnya. Jebol guys, udah pasti jebol cuy. Duit udah beda 5.000 guys ya.
Kusei and Nats aren't quite there yet when it comes to damage output. So Carlteasy can just say, you know, I'm just walking up. You guys aren't ready for this. I just need the defense from Aqua, the defense from Light, and weirdly enough from Demon Kite. It's actually Demon Kite who's the biggest threat to the Barats on Carlteasy right now, and he's just almost single-handedly with that Radiant armor made it not matter for at least a couple more minutes.
So now RSG need to watch out for that. Don't be too overly reliant on that turnaround capability. If they can't target other members, I know teams would want to focus on getting down the jungler as fast as possible.
Oh, no.
But we've been seeing the other members of Echo become a problem for RSG as well. Invade Echo, who gets a purple buff.
Again, pretty big level lead here that Carlteasy has. So he wants to continue to put the pressure. Demon Kite's going to be fine. It gets it, the retreat. But we're 17 seconds away from that Lord coming up here. We'll see if RSG can kind of handle this lead that they're working against with Echo.
Good news, bad news for the Raider country. Yes, Demon Kite did win that Retribution battle, forced one out from Carlteasy too, and secured his purple. Bad news is this first Lord that just spawned right now.
Lord to the moon too.
Not going to be as easy. Not a good contest for RSG still. I'd like to think if RSG don't lean hard into this, or at least set up a push off map like in the long lane right now, but I wouldn't do that against Stanford right now. then they have to play for the defense. They have to understand that this is a 5K goal lead we're staring down.
Yeah,
There's very little contest.
very true. If this is an all-in by RSG for some reason, incredibly risky. Huge gamble. Echo just... They look comfortable right now. But let's see.
Sudah dicicil Lordnya. Itu siapa tuh dia? Oh, Angela masih manjangin lane. Enak banget ya kalau dia Angela manjangin lane. War tinggal masuk coy. Di sini edit gue baru ngeliat si edit. Wah, dapat 2 JP. Waduh, kena Lord. Waduh, Nats sama Angela lihat. Oh gila Benny kitanya dibasukin juga. Waduh, sekarat semua itu. Wah. Itu rugi sih. Gila, sekarat semua cok. Bonyok duluan guys Ekonya. Wah gila. Sanjinya. Wah kali itu warna cuy. Gila bro, tarik ulurnya ngeri banget bro.
Make use of that window, that opportune moment that the Lord knocked up 2 members from Echo and said, you know what, it's go time.
Brunonya lumayan kaya ya. Nggak yang miskin-miskin banget guys.
Without that, I think it would have been so much harder for RG to win that fight. But right now, Echo are reeling. Echo are thinking, should have we really taken that fight? Should have maybe called off much sooner? Because they lost so much on that, and they actually have lost the map. Look at this, it's blue.
Again, this is what RSG does. Even though it looks like, why are you doing this? Why are you even trying? They will try, but they will succeed. And what a turnaround there. The sequence of events, Demon Kite stopping JP after the conceal, Lights entry with the flicker knock-up, then as you mentioned, the knock-up by the Lord.
More importantly, I think they accounted for the Lord knock-up. Because even if Demon Kite stopped the jump onto Kusei,
in big time,
Siap boy, cepet boy.
you can collect the big time token.
I think Echo would have still won the
Lanjut
fight.
guys.
The firepower
Untung nggak lagi perang cok ya.
in the net lead, but with that Lord knock-up, it closed the gap. It gave RSG maybe 2 more seconds of extra hits, free hits.
Yeah.
That made the difference.
That's the Raider energy that I feel like Naisu, one of the biggest reasons why he became an RSG fan.
BRE.
The what?
BRE.
Big Raider energy?
Yep. That's
It's-
right.
It seemed like it was orchestrated.
Yeah.
It's as if they walked in with saying, yeah, we're going to get the Lord to knock him up. Check this out. And they did.
Well executed. You know, again, that Lord knockup itself was detrimental to the Echo's game plan for that one.
I'm waiting to see what the Lord difference is, like how much they close the gap here. RSG after that take, and 3,000 gold, not bad.
Masih saling farming.
Here in the net difference now, again, 2,000 gold still. Significant 2,000. But just the same, I think it's in the map that you'll see. They actually lost all their tier 1 and 2. Echo just has 1 standing in mid. But that aside, the power of the Angela now to play cross map, the rotational speed of one Baksha now matters for RSG. More now than ever.
Yep. It becomes a big macro game now. Of course, these two teams known very well for their micro.
Or 20 detik.
Have also got a reputation for themselves, being able to play around objectives so incredibly well. Who controls the map better? The flow of minion waves you have to watch out for here in this scenario. And of course, the positioning of everyone, really. Sanford actually, D. Halbert.
He's had it. He's had it. Demon Kite, Aqua, y'all are too much now.
Yeah, there's going to be one painful X-Borg, and I get it. I've played a few X-Borg games myself. I love that item in an X-Borg. And again, you're up against a lot of healers, so makes sense.
Yeah, you got to deal with that. Again, that's kind of playing a part too. I'm still wondering as well, what we see Sanji grab here. Earlier he had the heart guard himself, so
Sudah dicolek lagi Sanford.
this fight.
Great positioning here by Echo, it looks like. But RSG, it seems like they read it. They know potential death drop on the side of Echo. They can seal play.
Huge long bush control here. I don't know if RSG knows. I don't know if Nat spotted that. Yep, now they do.
Sanji very quickly step out. I wonder if they call the bait here. Minion wave a little bit. Again, Angela's not here because he can shoot the ultimate to get into the fight just in time.
Oh, but also key here for whatever RSG is doing right now. Aqua's not showing himself. He can push this
Gila
lane.
enak banget di sini guys, masih di bawah tuh guys, masih split coy.
Echo's
Lihat keadaan.
He doesn't. It's his information economy at its finest.
Waiting for the hard guard. Nats, I don't think, saw the members of Echo go into that shrub. Does see Sanji clearing up the minion waves. Lord,
Oh.
they're gonna go for it.
Fourth of the health they go. Hard guard gonna find
Right.
Nats. They're gonna go for it. I'm offended on top of it. Trying to keep it together, but Demon Kite.
Waduh, dapet Lordnya dong Demon. Wah, rata Eko coy. Wah, mati Santola juga. Oh enggak masih ada flicker. Wah, cok. Gila bro, RSD masih kuat banget ya. Waduh, gila bohong flicker lagi. Rugi banget guys.
Amazing positioning from Kusei.
Gila bro, RSD bro.
And kept him out of harm's way. A lesser jungler, or rather a lesser gold laner would have just said, you know what, all in, let's go. We got all the CCs. But Kusei said, I'm going to hold my ground and play. He was an artillery cannon hidden amongst the bushes, and there was nothing Echo could do.
Incredibly unfortunate as well. Echo took that fight, or maybe RSG started that fight. Could have been slightly outside of the range of Carl TZ to be able to retribution the Lord away. All I know is Demon Cat was in a much better position to be able to retrieve that safely. Carl TZ was too busy gobbling someone up like this.
Wah, mati lagi. Gila bininya. Wah, menang Warnya nih. Eko. Gila, masih kuat banget defense-nya bro.
Now the good thing about everything so far, RSG, yes, the map is blue. Looks so much better for them. 7 towers over the 3 broken by Echo, but the gold lead, non-existent. It's even Stevens there, Leo.
That's right. It now comes down to execution, comes down to communication. And again, I could have sworn Echo was not going to let what the First Lord did to them happen again. And correct, yes, they actually learned so much better. If anything, it was Echo who tried to orchestrate the Lord knockup moment that RSG
Real time win rate. Widih, sejajar lah ya, beda 5%.
In comes the wild card, in comes the X Factor. Y'all forgot Kusei, man. Y'all forgot that Kusei was actually protecting himself, farming up to the point where you just don't see him for 2 or 3 seconds. Gets free hits on y'all, gets them balls in your face, and it's over. And that's what happened here. Yep. Huge trades, RSG currently winning. I think maybe this time, even outside the Lord, I think better yet, even before the Lord spawns, they have to commit to hunt down Kusei. Hunt is 1. I don't know how they'll do that though, because they're not very mobile. Yep. Rotational speed, they 2 out of 5 at best. I'm being very optimistic.
Yeah. When you look at the lineup of Echo, one of the things that stops that mobility, I feel like, is the presence of the Death and as Welcome. You want to fight around that, sort of like becomes another box. But RSG, this time they can move their box a little bit more better as the team fight goes on.
Exactly. Echo, lethal box, very strong, but they move an inch at a time. RSG, they're on a freaking Ferrari, baby. They're so fast.
A little bit faster. Will it be lights out and away Echo goes, or will RSG continue this speed? The Express has been stopped. Something wrong with the wheels of the bus. They ain't going round and round. As RSG running circles all over Echo every team fight. Again, you mentioned it earlier, Aqua hiding himself well. Lights initiations have been great.
Kusei hiding himself well.
Kusei hiding himself really well.
Good.
Now, I know you're the RSG boy here. Naisu, have you seen anything on the side of Echo that you feel like is noteworthy?
Most noteworthy thing at this point of the game, Sanji's holding on to that CC ultimate, and this also is up to JP, I feel like, for this fight, right? He's going to have to land that combination that we see so often from Ruby. And you can see, too, Bener2 staying topside for a little bit longer here.
Yep. We're waiting to see if Echo at around 15, 20k they'll do their typical hero turn.
Lord masih disenggol-senggol nih dari tadi. Yang mulai start Eko mulu tapi kena Warnya kalah coy. Wah, Demonnya mati kali ini. Terlalu depan coy. Bener2-nya udah sakit banget coy. Wah, kalau Jimmy mati dong. Wih, Sanji coy yang dapat. Wah gila. Wah ini guys yang gue bingung coy dari Eko. 2 kali kalah War tiba-tiba menang kayak gitu cok. Enggak bisa N sih. Bininya sakit banget itu guys. Rip banyak banget lagi. Wah N sih GG. Gila juara yang menunjukkan kualitasnya bro. Ngeri banget cok. GG banget Eko, gila.
And away they go.
Di tim gila cok.
Echo for stopping
Lanjut
the
ke game kedua,
momentum
let's
of
go.
RSG.
Nanti